This is what happens when you allow bird poop to sit on your vehicle for too long. They contain acids. If you let that sit on your car for too long, it's gonna burn through the clear coat and you're gonna have a brand new car looking like a 1990 car. What's the white broccoli? Cauliflower. It happens, but that's no reason to keep your car covered in bird poop all day long. So what you want to do is you want to clean it up right away. You can use water, you can use a quick detail spray. Today we're using a waterless wash. We're using EcoSmart. Let me show you guys how easy it is to use. So all I have to do is simply spray the surface down, and you want to make sure to fully saturate the surface just because this bird poop has been sitting here for a while. And then once you allow that about 10 seconds to saturate, you want to also spray some onto your towel for some added lubrication and cleaning power. And then we're gonna set the towel down, and instead of just dragging it all across the paintwork, we're gonna roll our wrist as we wipe. That way we reduce the chance of inflicting damage like scratches and swirls to the paintwork. So now that I've done one wipe, I'm gonna flip my towel to another side, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Roll as you go down. That way you don't create any kind of hard dirt lines that could potentially scratch your paintwork. And right now you guys can see that there's a lot of bird poop that is still etched onto the surface of the vehicle. So if you guys come up close, you'll see that there's heavy debris, especially up here, right here, here, and here. And you can also see that there's also some staining already going on. So unfortunately for this vehicle, there's really not a whole lot that we can do because we decided to let the bird poop sit there for long enough for it to cause permanent damage. So right here, you guys can see an up-close shot of what the bird poop actually did to the surface of the paintwork. The bird poop actually sat long enough on the surface to burn right through the clear coat. Now, unfortunately for this is permanent damage. We can't fix this. This would have to be repainted in order to be fixed. So we just finished wiping off the bird poop in this area, and one thing that we wanted to point out was, although this hasn't entirely burned through the clear coat yet, this has just stained it, so there is still a chance to fix this by polishing. All right, now typically if your car was already clean and you got this bird poop, then you would just simply wipe it off with this method that we just showed you. But as you guys can see, this thing is filthy and we're not gonna be here all day trying to wipe it down with a waterless wash and a towel. So instead, we're gonna go ahead and wash it just because there is some heavy duty bird poop on here. I'm talking about like some gnarly pterodactyl droppings on here that is not gonna come off with a simple spray and wipe solution. So we're gonna make sure to wash it. This is what happens when you allow bird poop to sit on your vehicle for too long. So if you guys come take a look up close, you'll see that after we wash the BMW, looks great, but when you take a look up close, you'll see that there's actually a lot of staining going on right here in the exact same spots that the bird poops were at. All these stains right here, you'll see that they're actually pretty gnarly, especially like right here towards the center of the hood, just because all that bird poop has been sitting there long enough. And like I said, the acids in the bird poop actually stain the clear coat. This is not gonna come off with the wash. It's not gonna come off with the clay bar. It's not gonna come off with a little bit of wax. You're actually gonna need to polish this out because there is a defection on the layer of the clear coat, which is causing it to look cloudy and not give it the full clarity. So right now, before we start polishing, we got a clay. So let's get that out the way. Let's get the clay out the way. I'm starving. I brought lunch. Brought some ground turkey with some potatoes, some white steamed rice, some broccoli, and some, what's the white broccoli? Cauliflower. Now that we have the clay out of the way, it's time to start polishing. Now I'm gonna tell you guys this right now, this is not gonna be a full instructional video on how to polish. I'm just gonna be covering the bare basics on just basically removing these bird poop etchings. So right here, I'm gonna grab my polisher. This is our Torque 10FX. And we're also going to be using it with our orange cutting pad here because we are going to be cutting very slightly. So that's going to be our orange Hex Logic cutting pad. And to cut, we're going to be using B36, which is a light cutting polish. So this is a polish. It cuts fine. You can use that as a one-step or you can use it as a two-step if you're going to follow it up with something finer like B38, which we will today. So what you want to do is shake it up. And then we're going to apply a couple drops onto our pad here. So I'm going to apply about 5 drops here. And after you do that, we're also going to be conditioning our pad with some pad conditioner. And this is a very easy to use product. This is going to save yourself some time and effort. It's going to keep your pads conditioned. That way they don't fall apart and then you don't start getting dusting. And this is how easy it is to use. Ta-da! We're all done. So just by doing that, you save yourself a lot of time, effort, you save your pads, they last you longer, and you have a smoother experience when polishing. So right now what we're going to do, we're going to get this cord, throw it over our shoulder. We're going to start blotting it out on the affected areas. speed setting 1 to spread. Once it's nice and spread out evenly, speed setting 6 to work it in. So we just finished doing our first pass with V36 and the orange Hexology cutting pad. I'm gonna grab myself a Workhorse microfiber towel, and I'm gonna wipe off the polish right now, just kind of gauge our results and see whether, you know, sometimes you may have to go with something more aggressive. You know, in this case, I hope that's not the case because, you know, we're trying to get through this pretty quickly. But just kind of at first glance, you can definitely see that there's much more clarity in this section than there is over here. But we're not entirely done yet. So right now we actually have to proceed with hitting it with the finer polish like V38. That's this guy right here. Now V38 is a final grade polish. So it's a finishing polish, a jeweling polish, if you will. You know, those are all technical terms for a product like this, but this is just basically that chemical that's really gonna give you that ultimate shine and just add that cherry on top of your detail. Now this right here is gonna bring out the utmost clarity, the utmost shine, and just really smoothen out the clear coat to give it the best finish possible. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our V38 and our green heavy polishing pad, and we're gonna do the exact same thing we did to the section that we already did before with our orange pad and V36. So let me go ahead and knock that out real quick, and I'll be right back with you guys for the final results. So we just finished polishing the rest of the hood on this BMW to remove all those bird poop etchings, and I can say right now it looks incredible. The clarity is there, the shine is there, the stains no longer there, which is great, and that's exactly what we're trying to do today. We could have avoided doing all the work that we put into this BMW today if we were to just have gotten a quick detail spray and wiped it off as soon as it happened. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a huge like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you guys want to pick up any of the products that you guys seen on today's video, they're going to be linked in the description and pinned comment down below. As always, my name is Joey. This is Chemical Guys. We'll see you a rato.